Alright everyone, here is a first look at D-Rex versus the D-Rex. How cool is this? Thank you very much to 485 for helping me out with this one. It's a fun one, and boy, the D-Rexes are OP. We've both got them at tier 5, you know, maxed out, level 30. So awesome. But yeah, just have a look at them just towering together. I don't know, would have been so interesting to see multiple D-Rexes in the movie. Would have been a bit much, but you know, at least we get to see them here. I do think originally there was meant to be a baby D-Rex in the lab, you know, like and apparently it had longer arms or something instead of those tiny T-Rex arms. And it does make sense because the version we saw was version 26.7 or something in the movie, right? And I think in an article it was confirmed that, yeah, there's been 25 previous attempts of D-Rex, and they've just been getting worse and worse and worse until clearly we ended up with this one, version 26. Very interesting to see. Love it so much. But yeah, to win in a D-Rex versus D-Rex fight, because, you know, once you're at tier 5, you can't die instantly if you have full health, because you have the cheat death ability where over 25% you are immune. But you know, if what you want to do is just basically get them as low as possible and be the fastest D-Rex. If you still have your priority available as well, even better. There you go. I was too weak, so 485 took me out, and yeah, that's because they had a, you know, better D-Rex than mine, and so I brought in Rexy. I was like, have a look at this, and to see this was crazy. It really gave like a bit of a sense of scale, you know, and they're similar colors, so it's like, holy moly, this is Rexy but bigger. It was just so, yeah, awesome to see, really. And Rexy unfortunately didn't even take out the D-Rex, so poor Rexy is gonna get really obliterated here. As you can see, look at that counter. 5k from a counter is just insane work, honestly. And then there you go, 10k damage with that distorted rampage move. So awesome, gotta love it. And then we'll bring in Titanosaurus to finish off the D-Rex. So it can be killed, but it is really hard. It's going to be one of the best things in the game once you get that tier 5 ability. And obviously not everyone's going to, because it's a tier 5 ability, you know, and tier 5 is just really hard to come across. I've probably said this a ton before, but the best I've gotten is like tier 2, you know. But I have also said this, I would be willing to work towards getting a tier 5 D-Rex, because if you get that on your team, I feel like you're just going to be insanely powerful. But yeah, here I was like, oh, I'll be smart, I'll go intimidating stance, because I haven't used Megalithevia really. I thought the rampage was, you know, I didn't think it was defense showing, because you look at it, it just looks like a normal attack. It clearly bypasses through shields and whatnot. Anyway, here I just wanted to put in this video real quick to show D-Rex against meta creatures before we get into a D-Rex boss fight where we have all the hybrids finally go in for a victory. They have a chance this time, unlike my last video. But yeah, you can see 485 just using meta creatures, and D-Rex is just obliterating the team, right? I did have to sacrifice my buck T-Rex, yes, but besides that, D-Rex just took them all on and won. It was a 3-1. That was just insane. But yes, here we've got the hybrids, Indominus Rex, Indoraptor, Angel and Rebel, the Spinoceratops twins, to take on the D-Rex. This will be the final battle of the video, don't you worry. But yeah, this was a fun one. I'm really glad I got to do it. Now the, you know, the access to the Isle of Trials, sorry, I almost forgot. The Isle of Trials is now out in public, so awesome to be able to do this finally with just everything. And yeah, what we're going to do is with this one's Rebel, right? I think it's Rebel. Yeah, with the longer nose horn. Distract D-Rex for cunning, but then again, D-Rex just heals here, so I'm not sure if that was the best play. I'm not sure if it healed though. I mean, cleansed damage reduction, so maybe that was good. I think it still got it. So at least Indoraptor baits it with that counter and distracts it. So yeah, we're gonna try and do our best, and if we can get all of them to survive, even better. That would be so awesome, you know. I mean, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer hybrids or do you prefer mutants? And how cool is it knowing that Mutadon is a confirmed hybrid? For those who have seen the movie, if not, sorry, spoilers, Mutadon, when we see it in that lab, it says hybrid on its thing, you know? So there you go, Mutadon is a hybrid of Pteranodon and Velociraptor. There are hybrids in Rebirth after all. I find that really interesting, you know? They're like, no more hybrids, no more. Somehow they must have just slipped that in. They're like, we want one hybrid. And it's like a hybrid mutant, a combination of the both. So it's like, where would Mutadon go? Would it go on D-Rex's team, or would it go on this hybrid team? You know? And once again, yes, Scorpius Rex is not on the team because you can't use Scorpius Rex in Isle of Trials, unfortunately. So I figured I'd go with the other best options. There were the canon ones, because, you know, even though Angel and Rebel are the same species, they both appear on screen in Camp Cretaceous. So there's that. Same with Indoraptor, same with Indominus Rex. The Gen 2s, I don't know if you could use the Gen 2s, but, you know, technically Indoraptor Gen 2 hasn't appeared on screen. Yes, in deleted scenes it was kind of there, didn't have the blue stripe, because it was obviously different and wasn't using blue DNA, but still. We've got all the canon ones, and you couldn't use Stegoceratops either, by the way. I probably wouldn't have chosen that one if it was an option anyway, because, you know, it is an epic, and Angel and Rebel are probably way stronger than Stegoceratops. But yeah, look how well we are doing. I think this is the fact that this D-Rex boss has 30k less HP than the highest D-Rex boss definitely helps out. And also the fact it doesn't have that cheat death ability, because holy moly, having a cheat death ability for a boss and having it say if it's below 25% HP it can't die, you're in a lot of trouble if you don't have Nullify. You really need Nullify for that. So yeah, I'm going to try to remember that when I get to the final D-Rex boss on my account, then fingers crossed I can beat it. And I figured out best way to unlock D-Rex as quickly as possible. Just go through the main path. Then once you unlock the bioluminescent path, go do the 1 and 2 battles. Then go back onto the main path and keep doing that. And then once you unlock the Hydra Boa path, do that. And then once again, you should unlock the final D-Rex battle. And that should, I think, be 250 DNA specifically. That should unlock D-Rex within about a week for everyone who just wants to get it quickly. And then, of course, there is more D-Rex DNA in the past, so then do the Spinosaurus, Egypticus raid and whatnot. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Holy moly, we just took out the D-Rex. Yeah, watch up here for more, and I will see you all later. Bye bye, everyone.